What is going on today, guys? Welcome back. As you can see, I don't know, I can't resist myself videoing when farm activities are happening across the road here. I just love it. I love it. But pros and cons, it is a great view. But when they are cutting this, I don't want to call it the wrong thing because you guys are gonna roast me. But you know, when they're doing their harvesting and cutting the field down, it's literally like snowing over here. Like the dually was actually pretty clean, and you know, when farming happens, you know what? This stuff starts to fly, but that's okay. But anyway, guys, welcome back. Monday, actually, well, it's actually Tuesday morning. We're back here getting some work done. We're actually gonna be showing some love to the 08 this morning because, you know, it's been neglected. It hasn't seen any love, and there are some things that need to be taken care of on it. So, oh yeah. And the trucks will be flying by here all day long. Look at the lines. Michael just laid down some lines. Woo, get some lawn delete going this morning. What a great American morning here. We got farming, lawn cutting, and we're gonna be working on some trucks. But anyway, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and leave some comments down below. Least you guys could do would greatly appreciate it. It does help the channel and all of the metrics that go along with everything that is YouTube. Let's just put it like that. But anyway, working on the 08 and videos every day this week. But anyway, we're getting fired up. We're getting going. We're gonna pull the 08 in here. We got the air conditioning going on in here. Michael's eating candy. Neither one of us have cut our hair yet. What could be better, you know? So anyway. That is where we're starting, and let's get the truck pulled in, and we'll go over exactly what we are doing. What'd you say?
I was about to give you your jacket.
I was about to give you the jacket. Please, come on.
It's snowing outside.
Yeah, it's you know, it's snowing. Michael, what would you call this activity of what they're doing outside?
Cutting the lawn.
Cutting their lawn?
Yeah.
I called it harvesting.
Oh.
I believe one would call that grain, possibly. I didn't want to go out on a limb and sound dumb, so I just said, you know, they're doing their farming things.
I like the flag on it.
America.
Yeah.
So we've got the 08 in the shop. We've got it up on the lift. What could we possibly be working on it on this fine day here? It is quite dirty. It is quite dirty, but you know what? That's okay. Michael, what are we working on today? I don't even know why I said. You know what I want to ask you? Before we get into, don't look over here. Don't look over here. Don't look over here. No, I'm saying them. I'm saying them. Would you like to describe? I would like for you, because you actually drove this last, and you've probably drove it a little harder than I probably ever have at speeds that I probably maybe have not exceeded yet in this thing since we added all this horsepower. So describe, actually come over here, describe, because the lighting just, you know, it'll make us much more vibrant here. So what happened on one day on one random highway in Mexico, obviously?
Oh,
Mexico, the Mexico trip.
Well, I was going
the speed limit,
and when you let off the throttle, it tried to change lanes.
Yeah. So Michael may or may not have been doing the speed limit in Mexico right against one of our other buddies' vehicles, and you know, the spicy tune is loaded up in there, and sometimes you just gotta let her eat, which Michael has no problem doing whatsoever. But the problem is, this thing is borderline, I mean,
it's dangerous.
I mean, would you call it second Jenny? It's the steering is pretty.
No, it's like when people were you're riding your bicycle when you're a kid and they stick a stick in your spoke. That's how the steering wheel goes. It's like, and it just stops. And then it rips.
We've got some steering problems with the 08. So today we're gonna take care of that. Now, if you guys go way back in time at the old shop, we did already replace the steering box in this with the factory Mopar expensive 6-bolt top steering box, and it was okay and it felt good. and now all of a sudden we have a really sloppy steering, and we've kind of gone through the diagnosis process of checking out the pump, checking out the steering shaft, checking out all of the actual steering components, which are also not that old. And what we've kind of come to the conclusion is that the new Mopar box, we think, is just kind of loose and is not giving us a consistent steering wheel, because when you go down the road, it just really, sometimes it's okay and sometimes it just wants to wander. And the pump, we think, is putting out what it needs to. It's not hard to steer at all. It's just very notchy and inconsistent. So of course, if you guys remember back, we put a redhead steering box in the 2nd gen, and it was honestly just phenomenal. Perfect steering. And I was like, you know what? We need to go back with redhead on this one. We've got their, and this is like their version of the Mopar 6-bolt top. It is like that newer design, beefy pump. If you guys look at 3rd gen boxes, this upgraded one, which is on some of the newer 4th gens, is a massive beefy unit. But what redhead does, like the other video it kind of explained, it is built in the USA to their tolerance, to their specifications. It is not a OE spec box. They go through the worm gear, they go through all of the specifications, and they make sure that it is tighter and better than factory. So this is going to be, honestly, in my opinion, you're not going to get a better steering box than what redhead puts out, because they take it all apart, they fine tune it, and it is truly the tightest box you're really gonna get. So what they got for us as well is they've got a new pitman arm, which I'm not sure we're gonna need or not, because we do actually have the upgraded steering and this link right here if we need it. But again, I think we do have the factory steering, or the factory upgraded steering. So hopefully this box right here will help us stay in our own lane and just be as good as we can possibly be. They do actually give you this statement right here. A lot of questions on that I got before on how to bleed out the system after you get done with the install, so we'll kind of go over that, but they do give you all those instructions. But again, 2 thumbs up from the guys over at Redhead. If you guys do need a steering gearbox, not only for Dodge trucks, for Ford, Chevy, all different types of applications, not just diesel, I would give them a follow on their social medias, and also I'll put my code up right here, save you guys some money if you guys do need a box. Again, in my opinion, I personally am not a fan of replacing my steering box every year or so from Napa O'Reilly's. Those boxes, they slap new seals in them, they send them on their road, on the way, and they truly never take a look at any of the internals. So anyway, we have got some ATF. Also, a lot of guys were asking about ATF for the fluid in the power steering. We have always used ATF. That is actually what Redhead actually recommends putting in them. So we use ATF in the power steering because Mobetta, and obviously going with AMSOIL because all of the goodness.
AMSOIL recommends that also.
AMSOIL also recommends that. So anyway, that is where we were at. That is what we were working on. A little short tidbit there. But anyway, let's go ahead, because I love driving this thing, but it has just gotten to the point where you're just like, nah, we're just gonna drive something that, like, you know, the crown of the road is gonna pull you into the field. Like, you don't want the farmers mad, you're making new tracks. So anyway, let's get to work. Also, before the air conditioning kicks off and Michael's got to put his jacket on, the way they set these up for you guys, which is also really, really nice, is they are set in the center from factory. So as long as you got your wheels straight, you shouldn't have a problem putting this on exactly the way it comes. So they kind of make it dummy proof, they make it really nice. And if you got to put your pitman arm, it's really just a bolt on, bolt off. You're not going to have to do anything steering wise because it is set center the way it comes. catch you guys up here a little bit. As you can see, most of you guys know that we used to live in New Jersey, Pennsylvania area, and that's where some of this little bit of crustiness comes from, and that has kind of led us into the next part. So we're just about ready to start taking down our old steering box, and we went ahead and removed our Dodge Off-Road stabilizer, which the bearing was kind of stuck. Little lack of anti-seize, little lack of some grease there maybe, but we should be able to get a new bearing for that, no problem, when it goes back on. But right up in here, I have to eat my words with checking out everything else. Up here, if you guys can see, this steering shaft bearing is supposed to swivel around pretty freely. And up and down is not bad, but side to side is no bueno. Not at all. So we definitely need to get a steering shaft, whether that was really our main problem or not. Definitely not helping one bit. So we're going to go ahead and order a new, probably an upgraded steering shaft. We'll get to that maybe in a different video. Obviously not something we can get today. We are going to continue to proceed because we can replace the steering shaft even with our new box in there. So we're going to go ahead and still replace the box and still do all of that because I still think that it was a box problem. But again, now we just kind of have two different things going on. So we're going to go ahead, keep proceeding with the box and keep moving forward, but just a little something to check there. It's not super easy to check up until you kind of get to this point, remove this slip joint and really just put your finger on the U-joint here. You already know, tech tips coming at you. Bust out that anti-seize. Make sure you guys change the O-rings on the lines right here. As you can see, Michael has applied a liberal amount of anti-seize to the nut. Here's your O-rings on your lines. Make sure you get those taken care of because that will cause a leak. If you don't, you know, just get in there. Get that shaft nice and lubricated. And we are pretty much at the point where we're gonna start putting in the new box. Like I said, I ordered a new Borgeson steering shaft to take care of our binding issue there. But we're pretty much ready to go back in. And I also ordered a new, I forget what they call this, unit bearing, pilot bearing. As you can see, we've got a little northeast action happening right here, which wasn't very happy, and we went ahead and fixed up our collar extension shaft nut jam thing bob, and that should be good. We don't actually need to put that back on for the truck to be running and driving again, so it'll need the second visit from the doctor. But you know, our initial you know, down payment is done. What do they call that? Copay. You know, we're gonna get again. You're gonna get another copay here on the second doctor visit. But if you guys ever need a ladder to get up to unlock the steering wheel, just in case you mess around with the steering shaft a little too much, just know that the transmission jack will probably raise you up high enough to get in the truck.
Top floor, sir. Sixth floor, please.
Okay.
All right, guys, we have got everything back together. We are just about ready to start the bleeding process, which we still got the wheels off the ground. But if you look down inside the reservoir here, which I don't know if you're going to be able to or not, there's a little mesh screen inside there, and it's got some chunks in there. So we're going to take the Vac Sucker 5000 out and try to vacuum out some of the particles in there from either this box, the last box, whatever might possibly be contaminating inside there. Just a little bit, it's not a lot. But what I thought was interesting was Where'd it go? Oh, it's over here. It's over here. The bleeding instructions that they give you with this box are really interesting. They kind of have some tips and tricks in here that I personally haven't done or seen. So I'm not going to read it word for word, but basically what you want to do is you want to get the wheels and tires off the ground, or don't connect your pitman arms so you're not turning against the wheels. So before you even start the truck, you need to fill up the reservoir pretty much all the way to the top. They make sure that you have enough in there, because it can still suck air if the fluid level is not high enough. So get the tires off the ground, fill it up, start turning the wheels. They say about 15 to 20 times. Do not go lock to lock. Now, I, for one, have done that where I've gone till you can kind of hear it whining. You don't want to do that. They say not to go to the extremes. So make sure, this is an important part. How many times would you say, like, you know, you put something in, you've got an air bubble problem? I would say that's pretty common. So just shy lock to lock. Make sure the wheels and tires are off the ground with the engine not running. I think the biggest thing in here that Michael even took a note of is if you have a vehicle that's equipped with Hydro Boost, which we do, they say that you need to kind of pump the brakes a couple times throughout the process with it off the ground, and then once you start the truck. So fluid level is key, keeping it up high enough, doing it with the engine off, make sure you're pumping the brakes. What'd I miss there?
That's it.
That's it.
The brakes part was very interesting.
Brakes part. So make sure you pump the brakes a little bit. So the whole point is to try to avoid air in the system. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain, but luckily they got you covered with the instruction sheet here. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully that helped you guys, because I've had air problems before. It's not very fun. So anyway, we're gonna try and bleed this thing out, and yeah, we'll have a new steering box. You know, this is just raw uncut. You know what I mean? Just everybody thinks that we're capable of doing everything perfect, not making a mess. And you know what? We are just like everybody else. And you know, sometimes we just happen to make a mess, and that's okay, because you know what? It happens, people. It happens. And all you can do is just laugh at it. That's it. It's okay, buddy. It's gonna be okay. All right, guys, we just finished up bleeding all of the air out of the system. We're not really gonna drive it today just because we're missing our bearing for the stabilizer, and I can, even just spinning the wheel, I can feel that rough spot in the shaft. So we're going to wait to actually drive it. Alrighty, my friends, that is pretty much going to wrap up this video. Like I said, we're gonna save the test drive for when we get our new steering shaft in, get our new bearing for our stabilizer in. I was hoping to kind of wrap up everything in one day, but like I said, sometimes you think you've checked everything else, and then you end up finding another little thing. So hopefully all those other parts will be in like 2 days, and then we can kind of revisit the steering box and how the thing drives, and we'll go from there. So that's pretty much going to wrap up this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video. We are actually going to be possibly headed to the track tonight, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome, and make sure you guys hit the like button. Yeah, I don't think that goes down. one of those. Oh, by the way, this is not my new trailer. This is my buddy Ryan's. We did not get a new trailer. We borrowed / stole the trailer. But anyway, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next video very soon. See you, bye.